I chose Southwestern in a perhaps roundabout way. My grandfather was the athletic director here for over 30 years. And from the time I was a little girl, my first memory around age 4 was that he told me I would be choosing Southwestern University. And all those years later, I was just fortunate that I was an early admit student. I came after my junior year in high school. I have countless favorite memories because Southwestern, as a child and a young woman, was my playground. I had many friends here in Georgetown, and I would spend my summers here from the time I was about 12 years old. So favorite memories early on were walking the campus at night in the summertime, crawling up the center aisle of the chapel, because back then the doors were always unlocked. Once I got here, it was about the amazing opportunities. I will forever remember dressing up to go hear Arthur Rubinstein play the piano in the Alma Thomas Fine Arts Theater. Something you couldn't imagine. A girl from small town Connecticut with a Georgetown location would have the opportunity to do. Mask and Wig, one of my favorite opportunities. And of course, memories like pledging and then becoming initiated into Zeta Tau Alpha, Lambda chapter here, having the opportunity to perform in lots of different ways. I sang in the choir, and we had the opportunity to travel. I also was a member of the 16-member group, the Extraordinaires, which existed back in the 70s, and we really had a good time. Lots of music, lots of theater, lots of great class as well. All the English classes I took, for sure. Class here was always personal and authentic and exploratory. It made me think, and it also made me a really good writer. You know, my Southwestern experience has been a lifelong one, from the time I was a little girl all the way to, yes, age 70, just earlier this year. And I have been blessed to get to serve in lots of different ways since I graduated. So when people say, and it happens to me fairly frequently, how did you learn to write that well? Or how did you learn to get up in front of a group and speak extemporaneously and make some sense? Or how did you know that particular, perhaps obscure piece of information? I always say it's because I'm a liberal arts graduate, an English, French literature major, minor, from Southwestern University, the oldest chartered institution of higher education in the state of Texas. I always hearken back to that. It's the bridge for me from being a young person to being a person who could actually make her way in the business world, even though I was not a business major. It got me in its own right into a role as CEO of the Colorado Society of Certified Public Accountants. And I am quite certain that everything has to do with the experiences both in the classroom and outside of the classroom that made my career possible. Being asked is important, regardless of what the ask is, where it is, or for whom. And I am so grateful that I had the opportunity to be asked to serve on the Board of Trustees, to be the mistress of ceremonies when President Ed Berger was being installed as the president previously, to participate and sing as an alum, to sing on Sunday morning during homecoming with the alumni choir, and relive some of the experiences as an older person that I remember so fondly when I was on campus. That's part of what makes Southwestern special. When you come here, the buildings may have changed, the street signs may be now branded, which, by the way, I think is great. The way things are is still grounded in the foundation that my grandfather believed in all those years ago, and why he said, you will go to Southwestern University. I'm just thankful I got accepted.